Welcome, welcome, welcome. Africa Miranda here. I will be moderating today's discussion. I am so excited to welcome all of you to our virtual panel today here with Ambi Skincare, and we will be talking skin wisdom. It is more than just skin deep. So thank you so much to everyone who has taken the time this afternoon to, like I said, just spend this time with us. And I really am so excited about all of the gems that we are going to be sharing today and that you'll be able to take with you to close out this year and kick off 2024. Now, I know we've got some people already in the chat. I would love it if you all would just let us know where you're tuning in from. We're going to give people a few more seconds to jump in. Some of the panelists have already popped in to say hello as well. So yeah, just where are you guys popping in from? I'd love to know. We've got Atlanta here. Coming in live from Atlanta as well. I know we've got some New York, Florida, Brooklyn. I love it. I love it. As you guys are coming in, just a little housekeeping. Depending on what you're logging in from, the best experience for you is going to be on Chrome. So if you are not on Chrome, I would recommend that you jump off and rejoin us on Chrome, again, for the best viewing experience, chat experience, all of that. We got Houston, Milwaukee, Chicago, North Carolina, Jersey. I love it. I love it. So again, we're going to let people come on in, but again, we'll be talking skin wisdom today. It is more than just skin deep. And as you all know, Ambi, if you're into Black and brown beauty, Ambi is a brand that you know and love. And I am pretty sure you have used, and it has had a special place in your cabinet. I know it has been for me. And I was just very honored, when I was asked to be a part of this conversation today. And, again, the women that we will be talking with are just extremely dynamic in so many different facets of entertainment, sports, social media. And not only have they built amazing brands, they really are really in the business, I would love to say, of also building themselves, building community. So if you are at a place at the end of the year, like I know I tend to be a little reflective on, how did I spend the year? We're coming, out of a few years that have been very challenging for most of us. And I think, we're at a place where most of us are ready to kind of tap back into feeling alive, feeling special, getting back into our routines. And one of the biggest of those is beauty. So we're going to get ready to get started. Oh, yes, Sharika, you've been using the fading cream since you were 29. You are 44. You live by it. Let me tell you, hyperpigmentation does not stand a chance to that fading cream. I love it. So we are going to get ready to get started. Again, if you are in with us today, make sure you're using Chrome. If you do have questions, we will have a Q&A for the panelists at the end of the conversation. Drop your questions in the chat. We'll be keeping track of those questions so that when it's time for the Q&A, we can ask them of the panelists, but also when it's time for the Q&A and you're like, oh, I didn't drop it in the chat, that's okay. Drop it, then we'll still see those as well. I'm going to get ready to bring our first dynamic panelist to the stage. Now, this young woman, Kela Walker, is a 7-time Emmy-nominated TV host and producer, and she is a multi-talented media personality. An authentic storyteller, Kela has leveraged her talents to cultivate a highly engaged tribe of over 120,000 cuties across her social media platforms who see her as a bestie in my head. Identified by Essence Magazine as a tastemaker and it girl, Kela has established herself as an authority within the social community with a passion to enlighten, connect, and inspire. Kela strikes a balance between hard work and play, inspiring others to make their dreams a reality and live their best life. When she's not hosting or producing content for notable media outlets like OWN, BET, Clio TV, Getty, or conducting red carpet interviews at the Tony Awards, the Met Gala, or the Grammys, Kela curates authentic content for leading consumer brands, keeping her audience craving more of her Kela V lifestyle with every post. So guys, give me a big digital clap and stomp and warm welcome for Kela Walker. I'm like, yeah.
It's always so funny hearing you're it's like, oh,
yes,
that's me.
Yes, guys. So I told the ladies before we came on, we're giving flowers today. So I'm enjoying reading these bios. So receive them.
I love it. Thank you. I received the flowers. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I'm going to keep it moving. Our next dynamic panelist, I would love for you all to meet Christina Granville, a dynamic and versatile entertainment host and influencer who stands at the forefront of digital engagement. Now, with an expansive community of enthusiastic followers and supporters, Christina's influence spans across various facets of the entertainment world. From her roots as a captivating radio personality to her role as a trailblazing HBCU esports sportscaster and NBA 2K League host, Christina's journey reflects an unparalleled commitment to her passions. She notably boasts a history as a former semi-pro basketball player, infusing her understanding of sports culture into every project she undertakes. Her portfolio includes hosting prestigious events such as the NFL Super Bowl, NBA All-Star, and Essence Festival, where she effortlessly connects with audiences and elevates every connection. Now, she has a magnetic personality that goes way beyond just hosting. She also has a special knack for cultivating authentic connections, and this has led to remarkable brand partnerships, which has transformed her engagement into memorable experiences. As an esports professor at Morris Brown College, she imparts her wealth of knowledge, nurturing the next generations of talents in the ever-evolving world of sports. Christina has an innate ability to transform audiences into engaged participants. Her vivacious and personable demeanor breathes life into products, activations, classrooms, and atmospheres alike. With her infectious energy, which I'm sure we're going to experience today, Christina Granville transcends the role of a mere host and influencer, emerging as a driving force in the convergence of entertainment, sports, and education. So let's welcome Christina, Miss Basketball Granville. Yes, that's you. That's you.
That was beautiful. Who wrote that?
Where did that come from? You're like, is that my bio? Yes.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, and we are happy to have you. And last but certainly not least, we are going to welcome a queen of reinvention. Angelique Miles represents many things, but is most well known for being a survivor, a music executive, and most recently, a fearless over 50 wellness warrior. Born and raised in NYC, Angelique is strength and courage personified. As a girl, she survived a brutal attack that left her with more than 150 stitches on her face. But instead of hiding, she learned to wear her scars proudly, like a Valentino dress, becoming her first reinvention of self at an early age. Now, in her 20s, after years of studying and hard work, Angelique began working in the music industry. And here she signed top megastars like Timbaland, Lil' Kim, Missy Elliott, and Busta Rhymes, just to name a few. With her determination, passion, and music and business instincts, she helped these artists rise to fame and become household names. Now, after her years in the music industry, Angelique was ready for yet another life transformation. She propelled herself into another of her passions, the worlds of beauty, fitness, and wellness. Doing so allowed her the space and grace, working daily to reach her own personal wellness goals, and she's been rocking like a self-care pro ever since. Now at 57, Angelique continues to live in NYC and is living proof that age is just a number. She is all about loving oneself, embracing your years at any age, and kicking ageism to the curb, one social post at a time. Now, with a social following of 116,000 strong, she shares her fitness, beauty, and wellness journey with a relatable, down-to-earth, and authentic voice. And in a world where staying forever young is more than just a lifestyle, Angelique Miles is here to stay. Her journey from survivor to music executive to beauty, fitness, and wellness guru is a testament to owning her own story and thriving at any age, scars, victories, and all. So let's close it out and welcome the fabulous Angelique. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
I just love reading bios. I'm like, does anybody else have some bios for me to read? I just love talking about how fabulous Black women are and all the things that we do. I love it. Well, we are going to get right into this discussion today. One, I just want to thank you. I know you all have all very busy schedules and bustling careers and brands that you are building and running and launching and projects and all of these things. So it does mean a lot that you're taking this time today. And I know I can speak for myself and everyone that is tuning in that we appreciate and everything that you're going to share. So wanted to say that in advance. And thank you, Ambi, for bringing us all together. We're very excited. So we're going to jump off the questions. So this conversation today, the title is Skin Wisdom. It's more than skin deep. And, we are all very focused these days because we all live online, the exterior. But the exterior is nothing if you have not built what's inside. And that's everything from our mental health to our physical health to our spiritual health. So I would love to start with you, Kela. We're starting with the foundations that we've built. If you would walk us briefly through the journey of how you've built your brand.
Yeah, building my brand it's been this sort of organic accident, if you will, because I started out in media, broadcast, television, doing what I love, hosting and producing. And it's just been this natural evolution with traditional media and what we see now as new media, with social media being such a large stream of how people consume content, right? And so it's this natural evolution of being on television, hosting, creating content for a major network, giving a voice to people, places, and things. But like also, how can I give myself a voice and stand out in this space? And so it's been this natural evolution in being authentically who I am. Again, giving a voice to people, places, and things, but also giving myself a voice and showing up and showing out whenever I am doing so. So it's been a fun journey. And, you know, you don't even realize you're brand building until someone's like, oh, yeah, I know your brand. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's me. Right? Like you're that bio. It's like, yeah, I did do all that. I do those things.
Exactly.
So I know. Organic, just again, natural build. That wasn't even like I'm building a brand, but it's like I was just always mindful of my character and knew that my reputation would watch out for itself in that.
And I love that you spoke about, again, just organically and authentically being yourself, because I always love to tell people, like, I'm happy to give advice to people now that are trying to build brands on social. But when many of us first started, there was no like blueprint. There was no one to ask. There was no like building a brand. We didn't even know what that was. We were just like on here living and sharing. So it's just been wonderful and beautiful to see where it can take you and how you've inspired people to also do the same. And so, Christina, I would love, same for you. For people that are just tuning in, these ladies are telling us, you know, how they've, a brief story of like how they've built their platforms and their brands.
For me, it's the same like Kela. Honestly, it's been, I want to say, through basketball. I just kind of just was doing my own thing, just being my true authentic self. And I find myself, the more I started being me, because at first, you know, when you're playing basketball and you're trying to be in a space, people always put you in a box that you have to look this way, or you have to be this way, or you have to do this, or the stereotypes they place on women's basketball. So I knew for sure, I'm like, I have a great personality. I got a live out loud personality. And the more I found myself being in these spaces and being my true authentic self, the more people start receiving me like, wait, how do you move like this? And the more I kept doing it, the more opportunities kept coming, because the thing I would hear all the time was, I just love how you're just you. And I'm like, okay, that's
who else am I supposed to be?
Right, exactly.
Exactly. And the next thing I know, like you said, it started turning into a whole entire brand. And people would, rather than calling me Christina, they would call me Miss Basketball. And I'm like, why are you calling me Miss Basketball? But as I continue to just start owning it, it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And the more I kept talking about who I was and showing up as who I am, the brand just kept getting bigger. Companies just kept coming. And it's been, for me, it has been an absolute blessing. When people ask me what I do for a living, I say, I honestly get paid to be my true authentic self. And that's the best job.
It is the best.
It truly is.
It's the best job.
Like, I can just show up every day. Like, okay.
Every single day. Don't get me wrong. Some days are better than others. But it has been an absolute blessing to see how my life and my life lights other people's lamps and their candles and make them want to be them true authentic selves as well. So it's just honestly has been a blessing. I'm always just so in awe at how God just works things all together. As long as I'm in alignment with basketball, with sport, entertainment, fitness, and beauty, things just come into play in alignment. I'm like, this is me. I did that. Okay. So it's been a great and amazing journey. I know it's just going to continue to get better and better. So it's been a blessing.
Absolutely. That's wonderful and very inspiring to hear. And I want to, for people that are like watching, to note as well, because it can feel sometimes like seeing what you all are doing can seem so far away. And it's like, oh, just be yourself. But you made a very good point of, like you said, if it's in your pillars of what you know is like your purpose that you're walking in, basketball, beauty, fitness, those things, you're not here saying, well, I'm trying to be all things to all people. These are the things that speak to me, and this is my walk and my journey. And that's where I find like the rewards start to come, is when you're true to that. So I'm so glad you shared that, because that's a big piece that I think a lot of people miss. It's like, no, you can't just go create a basketball platform tomorrow if you've never played basketball and expect to have the same results and experiences that you've had.
Yes, it's been an absolute blessing.
Well, Angelique, and now for you, I'm like, your journey to me is just, again, you're going from the music business, which is one dream that people would love to even aspire to now, you know, what they love to call it the fabulous second act of where you are now.
Yeah, you know, so many people ask me, don't you miss the music business? Well, I'm like, no, I do not. Not at all. The music business I was in no longer exists,
Yeah.
number one. Number two, as Christina said, I have the best job in the world. I get paid to be myself. Um, it was interesting for me starting out on Instagram because people my age, of course, they're always late for certain social media platforms, and no one was on Instagram, and they were like, "Why are you taking pictures of the food? Why you keep taking pictures of yourself?" And they were like, "How do you monetize that?" And I didn't know how I was going to monetize it. I just knew one day that I would.
Mm-hmm.
So that is how I got started, and you know, and I, as she also said, as both of them also said, it's about authenticity. Authenticity first. I'd be doing the same thing I'm doing whether I was on social media or not.
Exactly.
You know, and for me, I just ask myself, what do I want to wake up and do every day? And I said, I want to wake up, I want to work out, I want to practice other forms of self-care and wellness and monetize it. And here I am.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And actually, I'll stay with you, Angelique, for the next question, because I would love to get into, again, generational skin, because we all have certain beauty tips or things that we saw maybe our grandmother or great grandmother do, or even our mothers that were passed down. What are some, generational skin like gifts or practices that were passed down by women in your family? And maybe that you still practice today or you've incorporated?
You know, my mom was, I just remember my mom walking around with Pond's cold cream. So that was that was my mother's skincare that she passed down. Pond's cold cream, and what else did she use? Sometimes Noxzema, but not often. We were a Pond's cold cream house,
Mm-hmm.
and she used that for everything. She used that for
That's
everything.
I love how she said we're a Pond's cold cream house. Okay.
You know, I mean, now we weren't in the Noxzema house. We weren't in the Noxzema house. So that is what I remember from my mother. But there were no like. I don't remember because a lot of people use Vaseline on their face back in the day, but I don't remember doing that. I
Okay.
think I used lotion, and as a teenager, I actually used Ambi in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I used Ambi.
Yeah.
So I later on maybe I used a lot of Clinique. You know, that was popular back then too. But my mother was always very receptive to. Getting me the things I wanted and needed for my skin.
Good. Now, Kela, were you taught anything specific, like from the women in your family, about how to take care of your skin, or like, certain treatments or things to do?
You know, it's interesting when I think back on the beauty rituals of my mother and my grandmother,
Mm-hmm.
like I don't like they were such naturalistas, if you will. Like I think it was just like some cold water and a fresh bread.
Exactly.
I remember my mom being Noxzema, and I used to want to use it, and like the medicinal smell behind it, and like
Right.
it's working because it's like, oh, I smell it.
You feel like it working.
Yeah.
But like, what we have available now is
Oh my God. Overflowing.
Like, I don't remember mom or grandma doing much. Like even my mom used to do my eyebrows. Like there weren't the same services. And so it's funny because I feel like I'm the one that's like, Mom, you need an eye cream. Mom,
Same.
you need a serum. You need to do in layers, okay? You go from light to heaviest. Like I'm imparting the wisdom now to my mom and my younger sister. I'm like, sis, as soon as you can, start buying eye cream immediately.
I'm like, SPF.
Sunscreen.
Right. I look at my mom who wears nothing, and she's like, and I'm like, wow, okay, this is the future. I can deal with that.
Right. Yeah.
They're good, but it's mind blowing when I think about what they did versus the 10-step process that I go through every morning.
Right.
To be like, this is natural foundation, okay, girl. It's 10 layers of products, but we are here. Just skin product. That's before the beauty makeup and all that other kind of stuff. But yeah, also like I remember Ambi. Ambi was that if you had like an issue with hyperpigmentation, Ambi was the one because there was no other
nothing
that was like marketed towards Black women or women of color in general to help with discoloration.
Exactly.
Like name another. You can't.
Because it did not exist.
It can't. And that's why, so it's so funny, like even now seeing the products that Ambi has compared to what then, again, we are leaps and bounds from what we were before. Yeah. But when I think about my childhood, I'm like, there wasn't much. My cabinet is so much fuller
So much fuller.
So much fuller than what it was
Overfull.
today.
Oh, now, Christina, I'm going to move on to you. We're going to move a little bit now to talking about the fitness and, how much diet and exercise plays in the role of our beauty regimen. Because again, a lot of things, if there's something going on internally, it can show up in your skin and show up on your body. So how, I would love to hear how diet and exercise plays, like the role that it plays in your life.
So for me, the diet side, I don't do anything diet, not even remotely close, because if I do a diet, I'm going to disappear. I have been
Lucky you.
Right.
Okay, next question.
Yeah. Oh, say it so, sis.
Girl,
I'll say this. Let's not say diet in terms of losing weight. Diet in terms
Yes.
of maybe what you eat.
and nutrition. Yes.
Nutrition, right.
So my nutrition, y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but I love Boost. Like that is my thing, because I've been trying to gain weight for a while.
Mhm.
So Boost has been my thing, just trying to make sure I get a lot of proteins and whatnot. But I love to exercise. Of course, I'm a former basketball player, and either I'm playing basketball or I'm dancing. So I used to be a certified Zumba instructor. So I am in my house at least an hour, coming up with all kind of dance moves. It probably never see the light of day on Instagram, but the music is loud, and I try to make sure I stay active at least 3 times a week.
Okay.
9 times out of 10, I'm gonna dance every day, but I try to be deliberate about it. Like, make sure, okay, let's get it in.
Yeah.
Because I know life can get busy, but that's my place to be my true, authentic self and just go.
Yeah.
Just have fun. And then that's another way that I can also stay in shape and stay active and make sure that my heart rate is up. So with that, of course, drinking my Boost and just staying active as much as I can. Because I tell my mom and my dad. So my dad is 94, and my mom.
Yeah.
Oh,
God bless.
God bless him. God bless him.
Yes, and my mom is 78.
Okay.
And one of the things that I always say to them, and what they always tell me back, is if you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Amen.
make sure, like, I hate waking up so early in the morning, but I thank God for the discipline because we have to stay active. Because if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. So I just want to make sure I stay active. There's no real goals that I'm trying to achieve. There's nobody I'm trying to look like. There's nobody I'm trying to outwork or compete with. I just want to be better than I was last year. I just want to make sure that I'm absolutely the healthiest I can be.
Aren't we all? Now, Angelique, you have been inspiring us, as we said in your bio, like it's living what there are no limits to how we can push our bodies, transform our bodies, and live well at any age. What made, I guess, that transition into taking it this seriously? Or have you just always been into fitness, or was it just something like, at this stage that really kicked in for you?
Well, I've always dabbled, and like Christina, I was very, very slim in my 20s and my 30s. But when I turned 40,
like you when I get older.
You know what? You're gonna look like you, the best you.
I'm gonna look like you. Yes.
Well, thank you, honey. Thank you. But no, I went to the doctor as soon as I turned 40, and I'd been like under 145 pounds up until 40. But the doctor told me that day, he was like, "You're 153 pounds." I was like, "Really?" I was happy because I'd been so slim I'm 5'9". So I'd been so slim all my life. I was just happy to have a little bit of meat on me. Mm-hmm. I went home and told my mother, and she was like, "That's how it starts."
Oh, Lord.
A few months later, I was 160 pounds. So that's when I was like, okay, I'm not going out like that. That's when I went to CrossFit. Okay. And that's when I really started my aggressive fitness journey. Because before then, I'd only done things like bar class. I'd take a little kickboxing here and there, like some Taibo at home. But then I was like, okay, I have to really do something aggressive now because my body is changing. At first I was like, it's betraying me, but it was just changing. Yeah. I was in perimenopause. Mm-hmm. And that's how it started. And I started posting about it on Twitter at the time. Instagram wasn't my thing yet. But I'd run into people and they'd say, or talk to people and say, you really inspired me to get up, and I really got to start working out too, because your 40s are when it's a time when your body starts changing and things start happening, and you really start thinking, I need to get it together. So yes, that's how it all started. And for me, I think for a while it was like every 5 years my body changed. So I had to turn my workout. Now it's like change my workout. Now it's like every year. I have to do something different. Like my body's not acting like it did at 56. 57 is different.
Wow.
Every time I think I got it, my body's like, what else you got?
What else?
My body's like, yeah, we don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and then other things start happening. So it's been very interesting, and I'm still the same way. I'm still not going out like that. So
yeah.
Here I am.
You've been somebody that I've loved that you share, because as I am in my mid going to later 40s, it's like, yes, you kind of wake up one day and your body's like, oh, this is not the same body. It's not responding to, like, the stuff I used to do does not work. And then you try it and then it still does not work. And, you know, that's been the conversation with my trainer this year. He's like, well, you got to do, he's like, we have to do more. You've got to do something different.
Angelique, she's like, your body's like, what else you got?
And that's
what else? What else? That and nutrition becomes more important too.
You said what?
Nutrition becomes all the more important.
It does.
I can't just work out. I have to
eat
right and work out. I can't in my 20s, my 30s, I could eat a whole box of pizza and just work out and be okay. But now, no, you have to do both. If I can work out till the cows come home, if I'm not eating right, it doesn't show up on my body.
Oh, that's where we are.
Yeah, so I'm eating like yogurt and water.
That's me. Like, yogurt with a little bit of agave and fruit. It's like a snack. I know.
Okay. Water. Just kidding.
Oh, now, Kela, I know for you, you are love. I was going to don't give me that face. I was for you though. You're someone, you travel a lot. You're doing projects. You're on set, so it's like it is also very hard to maintain any type of like wellness, fitness, lifestyle routine when your day to day can always, every day could be something different from you. So how have you been able to, work to try to navigate that? I'm not going to say master it, because I don't know that any of us have mastered it, but
I'm going to be honest. Like, it's what were you saying, Christina? If you don't use it, you lose it, right? I'm on the losing team right now.
No, Kela.
Like, I'm looking forward to winning. And
you got this.
I got it. So, like, I think what's really important to remember, I know when I was on like my fitness kick, and that's how I met Angelique. I was like, yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm getting it. And let's line up and do formation. It's not a destination, right? Like, it's a journey. It's
a never-ending journey.
Style, and it's something that you got to commit to every single day. So even if you're like, yeah, I'm doing CrossFit or whatever, like, you've got to commit to things that you can maintain. Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm at now, right? Like, for me, I'm like, okay, I'm getting back in the gym. I'll go do, a little spin class or something, because that's my, like, I can do that. I can like ride out and then be like, I'm good. I'm done. I got something. I've moved. But it's tricky. And like, that's why I give it up to y'all. Like, I love it that you dance or play basketball as often as possible. I don't do neither one of those. Like, mama is walking to the subway. Okay, child. Like, walking to the subway.
No, New York is a workout.
Yeah, New York is
exactly.
a workout. Absolutely. Living here in and of itself.
Especially depending on what shoes you have on.
Yeah.
Hi. Well, New Yorkers, we carry 2 pair at all times. The comfy
all times. Flat out of heels.
Stop us when we arrive, right? But I think Angelique also hit it on the head. Like, it's this constant like evolution and knowing what your body needs. Like, things that I used to could do, I can no longer do, which is why I'm like, things are changing. Your body is saying, what else you got? And it's time to show what you're capable of. So it's being mindful of it. And also, I think committing to things that, again, you can actually commit to. Because you can start out strong, like really good, as most of us do at the top of the year. And then by the end of the year, you're like, well, how did we get here? The jeans don't fit. How did we get here?
Like we were doing.
That you can stay committed to makes all the difference, I think.
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm trying to do, if that answers your question.
It does. It does.
I've never forget. Angelique says one time she is on I think it's women across the board. You're on the eternal mission to lose 10 pounds. No matter where you are in life, you're like,
pounds. I'm trying to lose 10 pounds right now.
Right, always, right now.
We're gonna lose it. We're gonna lose it. Now, Kayla, I'm gonna stay with you because and this is actually going to be something I would like all three of you all to touch on, because all three of you all are public figures, and part of how you have built these platforms is really sharing your life, sharing your views on beauty and fashion and all of these things. But we know as Black women, and especially women of color, we don't always fit the so-called standard, that has been written out as like this is what is considered the right size or the right shape or the right shade. So how have you all handled, maybe pushback or opinions of public perception on beauty, when you built of yourself as a public figure?
It's funny for me. I consider myself very much a Black woman. And I say that to say, like, when I show up into spaces and how I convey myself, like, I talk Black girl, there is no question. Or like, what is she? Like, I'm not one of those girls. I'm a Black girl. I talk to Black girls. And so I said it to say, like, we look at each other in a different way than how anyone else looks at us. And we are acceptable and promote things amongst ourselves that no one else does. And for most, now we don't care what anyone else thinks about us. As long as we love ourselves, we love each other, like that's what's most important. And so for me, I'm never contested in any way because I deal with mostly Black women. I talk to Black women. Black women talk to me. And anytime I'm working with a brand, it's probably to talk to another Black woman or also to just talk to a woman. So I don't conform to any of those societal standards of what beauty is. It's what I believe beauty to be, and what is acceptable to me. So I've never felt that pressure. Like I'll be like, that's funny. Also just working in media, we know like the inner makings of things. Like you're like, okay, they totally just soft lit her face in that shot. That is not her real skin. They put a soft blur on her. I'm like, this is not real. Like I'm that girl that's watching TV. I'm like, they totally messed with continuity right here. This is not matching. So I know what's real and what's fake, and so I can't let your opinions of me. They're not my business. I couldn't care less.
Now, do you feel like, and this can be for any of y'all as well, because it's like, as you said, we're all in media, so we understand, but I do feel like when I talk to younger girls, it's like they don't always get like there is something, like that you can't pull the curtain back and see what the real truth is, like the emperor has no clothes on. So I do sometimes struggle with, it's like there's things that I know and that I see and that I get, but I can see how it is changing how younger girls feel they have to show up, because I don't know that we ever felt like we had to show up so done, so ready all the time.
Very true.
Yeah.
And I'm just noticing that in some of like my friends' daughters. Like, it's like, I was like, wait, are we both got our lashes done and our hair? Like, I was like, wait, I was not this ready at like 15, 16.
But I
certainly wasn't.
Like social media and our stories, like right when we tap into each other's stories, it's like I can absolutely see any one of us without makeup, without hair, like giving, when you talk about raw, authentic self, you can see that, right? And there are certain people who would never show up publicly like that. It would just like, oh my God, I could not. But like that for me strikes a difference of like people who I can lean into what they're telling me, what they're sharing with me, how sincere, true, and authentic they are being, because like I'm like, she's shown me herself without the makeup, the facade of it all. And so I think it's important for even younger audiences to pay attention to that, like who's showing you their real authentic self, and it's not just always putting on a show or selling you something or pushing and promoting something that is not genuinely and sincerely for you. And so it's important for the youth, I think, to be very mindful of that, because it's a slippery slope.
It is. I want to be like, it's a lie. It's a lie.
It's all a lie. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Oh, now have Angelique or Christina, have you all dealt with any, issues of being in the public eye and just feeling like you had to make certain changes to conform for being on camera, or, or any of those things?
For me, I think when I started with the NBA 2K League, maybe it was probably me myself, because I had imposter syndrome, right? I was more so like, okay, maybe I have to look well polished and put together if I'm going to be on TV. And I'm one of two Black women on the entire broadcast team. So I want to make sure I look my best self. But then I had to realize, again, they came to me. I didn't go to them. I got to be my true, authentic self. And the more I started getting around people, like the other Black girl that was there, she was so welcoming. Once I started getting around people that saw me for who I was, I didn't care anymore. Because I'm like, y'all gonna love me regardless.
Yeah.
So what I started learning is that I'm going where I'm celebrated and not tolerated. So I don't have to deal with any of that. And if I feel any of it, guess what? I don't have to be there.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, you came for me. I didn't come for you. I'm not.
I love it.
I don't press myself. Like, even if I hear certain things like, oh, you don't look like a basketball player, right? We hear that all the time. You don't look. I'm like, well, what is a basketball player supposed to look like? Why do you have your nails done? Why are you wearing makeup? Why do you have your hair? Because I want to. Because I like it.
Yeah.
And then if I'm not made up, then it's like, oh, well, you gonna put yourself together. No, I want to be me.
Like, I can't win. Like,
what you get.
Yes, but I think because we're in the public eye and people are always looking at us and there's always a microscope, whether we want to believe it or not. Every time we leave our house, as soon as we close the door, somebody is watching somewhere, whether it's for something positive or something really good, or it's for something negative to wait to see you slipping, because we are beautiful Black women. So they're waiting for us to have a little fall. But I'm like, listen, this is what y'all gonna get. Because one thing that's not gonna change, whether I put on makeup, hair, wig, lashes, whatever, my heart and my personality gonna always be the same. And you're gonna get this energy regardless.
yes.
Make sure, even talking to my young girls that I mentor and my students at Morris Brown College, I have to remind them, girl, you coming to class. Why you got on a whole full thing? Just be you.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You ain't got a matter of fact, you ain't even got no job. How you affording all this?
What is your beauty budget? Because
Oh my God.
I know what mine is.
Like this, you got a full face. Like you beating me right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a Chanel purse. How, Craig? How? I didn't have that when I was growing. I didn't have that.
It's different. It's different.
It's so different now. It's so different now.
I try to make sure that I'm relatable, and I encourage them to say, hey, you can have that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I want Black women to understand we deserve nice things.
Yeah.
But it doesn't define who you are. You don't need that to be your true, authentic self. You can come to class and just be regular.
Yeah.
You ain't got to do all of that. You can leave your house. And I think what happens is it starts at home. We have to start encouraging our young girls at a very young age and pouring into them to say, hey, you are beautiful, whether they got their hair done or not.
Exactly.
But we have to make sure that we love on them and we remind them of how great they are, how beautiful they are, how worthy they are, and how we need them to be their true, authentic self, so that they don't go to social media and be like, okay, I gotta look like Jada and everybody else every single time.
Right.
Maybe it be filthy. Maybe it be all kind of stuff.
It's the face app with the face tune, with the filter, with the slide over, with the
everything.
Keep up with it, because if you keep up with it, we've seen it time and time again. Yeah. These young girls will crumble. Yeah. Because nobody is telling them that they're beautiful. Yeah. They will crumble because nobody's giving them the attention that they thought they would get from social media. Yeah. So we just have to be mindful, and I try to make sure I encourage and be a light to these young ladies and young men, because they need to start giving compliments too. That, hey, you are beautiful with or without, and I need you to understand that and hold on to that.
Yeah, for sure.
But we ain't going nowhere where we ain't celebrating.
There you go. There you go. If you're just joining us, mid-conversation, we are here with Kela Walker, Christina Granville, and Angelique Miles, and Ambi Skincare. We are talking skin wisdom. It is more than skin deep. We are living authentically. We are going where we are celebrated, and they're going to get this energy no matter what. And I'm like, so you're all caught up. Now, Angelique, I want to bring it to you. All of you all, again, I keep coming back to the platforms that you all have built, because again, as you said, the beauty of what you've built is that you've been able to be yourself. And I know even personally, there's like a struggle sometimes of how much of your life do you share? How do you find that balance of creating community and creating connection, but keeping some things, to yourself? So how have you've been able to navigate that? Because you have built a very large platform, and I know we feel very connected to you, but that does not necessarily mean we know everything.
Right. That's the key. Some things, but you don't know everything. Yeah. And most things you don't know. I've always kept it that way. Like in my love life and things like that, I never share. Mm-hmm. I think some things you should keep to yourself. Otherwise, you just open it up to comments and negativity that you don't want. And I have a very respectful, quality following who I don't get the negative comments a lot. The only time I get negative comments are when I have a brand campaign and they have to put it on Facebook. People say crazy things to me, and I feel like cursing everybody out.
Whole other worlds there. It's a whole
Facebook is like a horrible place. I don't know what is going on over there. Somebody called me something today. I was like, you get me confused with your mother? Anyway, I was like, no. What?
Like,
But it's crazy out there. But I just don't open myself up to that.
Yeah.
But there's some people who are very comfortable with that, and that's their thing. Like they want to give love advice, or they want to give relationship advice, or family advice. That's just not my thing. My thing is wellness and fitness and beauty, and that's what I like to share. But for those who are comfortable with it, I think that's fine. I'm just not comfortable with it.
Gotcha.
I feel like Angelique and I are on the same path, or same. We share the same in the sense that I like to think lifestyle public, personal life private, and so share the things that you love and the things that bring joy and are just fun and that you would do regardless if you were getting paid for it or not. But then there are just certain things that you would never know about me. Like, I mean, even me, like I'll share, like, I'm an aunt, I'm a sister, and I share, my friends and family, and close loved ones. But like, whether or not I'm in a relationship, what's going on, like really in my personal life, you have no idea.
Okay. Because
lifestyle public, personal life private.
Yeah.
It take that one comment for you to be like, excuse me,
right?
This is social media. You've got things mixed up.
Right.
Exactly. Like fun and giggles. Anything else?
I always tell people you can always share more if you choose. It's very hard to put it all out there and then want to dial it back, because once you open that door, you can't then say, I don't tell y'all nothing else. Because then everybody used to see everything.
Or even if I even have like, oh, should I, shouldn't I? If I have to like question it, I'm like, just don't do it. Because if it brings any sort of doubt.
Exactly.
Christina, what you sharing?
Well, I learned my lesson.
See, that's what happens. All it takes is one lesson.
I learned mine in 2013. I learned like 10 years ago. Never again.
I learned my lesson in 2016. He created a whole page for us.
Oh,
wow.
And then people even still to this day be like, hey, whatever happened? I'm like, shut up. Never happened.
Please.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't even know what you're talking about. But what I've learned is you have to be mindful. I think it's really important for your mental health. Yeah. Because people will be so ingrained into your personal life that they will see you in public and think they know you and ask you, no, friends, no, we don't talk like that. Yeah. But we have to be mindful when we're sharing on social media. Like I share my mom and dad because I just think, I don't know, there are some amazing and interesting people in my whole entire life, right? So I love to share them. And people still be like, oh, that's my mom and my dad. No, it's not mine. But what I've learned is I have to just be mindful in how I share things, right? I have done a great job. God blessed me with this gift to be able to make people feel like they know everything and they only know a little. Yeah. Like, because I'm single, I'm trying to mingle, so they know that I'm single, but they also know if you ever see me on Instagram with somebody, 9 times out of 10, it's a business date.
Right.
Because you're never going to know. If you see me, I'm holding auditions or something. Yeah. Like it's nothing like that. But what I learned, you have to be mindful of letting people so close to you in. Like you just got to be mindful of it because you already share so much.
Yes, you do.
You got to make sure that when you come home, that if you decide to get on your social media and you want to just scroll, or you decide you want to just not post to social media about your personal life, you got every right to. You can just chill and nobody knows.
That's right.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows the difference.
You can go to Africa. You can go to California. You can go anywhere.
Yeah.
With anybody you want to go with.
And nobody has to know. Exactly.
Right. So I'm thankful and I'm grateful that I'm learning, right? And that I'm growing and I'm evolving into a woman that can have her privacy, but still be a public figure and make people feel like they're relatable to me.
Exactly. And be a part of that journey. Now we're going to open it up for questions, everyone. I always tell people on these panels, you don't always get access to people like this that are doing all the things and have a great wealth of information. So ask the questions. We do have one to start off. And any of you, whoever wants to jump in first, can do this with this. You know, morning routines are very important. So how do you start off your day?
I'm more intrigued when Angelique starts off her day.
Let me tell you, same.
I start off my day. I put my workout clothes on. I keep them on my closet.
They so gorgeous, y'all. It's like
thank you. Because it's the first thing I do, and I just rinse my face with water. I don't shower because I go downstairs in my building to work out, do cardio. But I rinse my face with water, use a light moisturizer. I don't do a whole skincare routine, and I go do cardio. That's how I start my day.
And how long are you doing cardio? This is just for me.
Usually 30 minutes, but I'm about to switch it up.
Okay.
And do like some HIIT and stuff like that, because I ate everything in Kenya. You hear me? I ate everything in Kenya. And
the food is different there, though. The food is so much different. Your body processes is probably
it's not the same as here.
It's not the same.
It's not, but we were moving so much that my body didn't have a chance to just digest things properly. Gotcha. So I ate everything in Kenya, and there's a lot of bread. There's a lot of everything. But when I don't usually eat everything, I ate everything. So I'm just getting back on track because I got to be ready for the holidays. I'm just always trying to get back on track. But
the eternal
yes, the eternal warfare. But yeah, that's what I get up and do every day. Well, on weekends that's not what I do, but Monday through Friday I work out.
Okay, I'm going to actually keep this moving because now the questions are coming in and we got some good ones. And one of you take this. What's one piece of beauty advice every woman should have? And this is from Desiree Hadley. That's a good question, Desiree.
Always wear sunscreen.
I was about to say the same thing.
I learned the hard way, and I wish when I was younger, my mom would have told me, but my mom was a Pentecostal woman. She was everything close to holy. So she didn't do any earrings, no pants, no makeup, no nothing. She just holier than thou. But I wish someone would have told me when I was younger, because I was a track athlete as well. So I was always out in the sun, that I needed sunscreen. That if I don't, I'm going to have skin damage by the time I get older. So the best advice I would say is please, whatever you do, especially Black women. I know they say black don't crack, but baby, it will crack. Yeah. It will crack if you don't.
And not just wear sunscreen, but reapply your sunscreen every 2 hours. Because if you don't reapply it, you might as well not wear it.
Yes, they have so many different things now. You can spray the sunscreen now. There's especially if you're wearing makeup, because my excuse is to be, oh well, I got makeup on, so I ain't gonna. Baby, you can spray it now.
Powder, there's spray.
Yep, exactly. There's so many things.
Yes. So my best advice would be please get you some SPF more than 30. Don't let them fool you. But yes.
Agreed. Now, actually, Kela, I would love to give you this question to you. This is from Chase Terry. And hold on, these questions are coming in now. What was the most difficult thing to learn while growing your brand outside of the organic growth, and how did you manage through it?
I think the most difficult thing, and I think even Christina touched on this earlier, is that your brand is your brand, and to not compare it to anyone else's and how anyone has built theirs, because we all have unique stories. And one way into the industry is nobody else's way, and you can do it your way. So to not compare and contrast, but to be mindful of who you are as you move forward. And I think, that's the best thing, to have organic brand growth and not compare it to anyone else, and just be mindful of who you are and how you want to show up.
Running your own race for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to do 2 more questions with quick answers, and then we'll be bringing up another special guest. So let's see. Jessica Taylor says, with aging and learning yourself, how long did it take you to figure out what beauty brands were for you? And she says, asking as a product junkie. So I would say one of you jump in and take this one briefly.
I use all of them. I can't choose.
I'm like, girl, I'm traveling with the kitchen sink. I'm taking
I'm a habitual bag checker. I'm a habitual bag checker
Are
I
you?
check mine too.
because
Yeah.
of my beauty products.
I don't.
Anytime I
I'll check
fly,
the bag.
I'm checking the bag. I'm checking the bag because
I
of my
don't know
hair
what
products.
I don't know if we'll ever find one thing that works for everything. I feel like I have to have 9 to 12 products with me all the time. I don't know why. And
It
For
just
day and for evening.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
all
it's what I
serve
use a
different
day.
purposes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, last question. And this is from Tanisha Grant. How do you decompress from those moments when you're feeling overwhelmed?
I take a nap.
I'll
I
tell you,
take a nap.
there's a lot of things.
I take a nap. Or I just, you know what, there's beauty in doing nothing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just like, I'm overwhelmed, so I'm not going to do anything right now.
Put your phone on. Do not disturb.
Mm-hmm.
I would say for me, I turn on some music. I'm a very good energy kind of music girl. I will turn on some music and not be bothered. Like just play some music to cut off all the lights. Another, I like to sit in silence because I know I'm around people all the time. I love to sit in silence. And if that's me having to cry because I'm overwhelmed, because I do get that way sometimes, then I'll just sit there and I cry and I just let it all out.
Ooh, yeah.
Give me about a good 45 minutes. Baby, I'm back at it. I'm good. But sometimes you just need that moment to just be still.
Yeah.
That's right.
As you're crying or whatever it is you're talking to, just be still.
Absolutely.
Just for a few moments so that you can recalibrate, so that you can just kind of calm your nerves. Because whatever it is, it can wait. Whatever has you overwhelmed, it can wait.
And pray.
And pray.
Amen. Amen.
Now, I said that was the last, but I actually have one more question, and this is good. This is from Beth Dobbins. What is the most priceless piece of wisdom your mom or female role model shared with you that still resonates with you today?
My mom, I learned from my mom, I don't always have to win. You know, when I was younger, I was, combative, I guess, and my mother's like, you don't always have to win.
Okay.
And you don't always have to argue to win. I've learned that you can catch more flies with honey than vinegar. So even when I'm angry, I speak kindly, sweetly, and with patience. I've learned patience over the years, and I'm not quick to anger.
There you go. We're going to have to hold that there because I do have to bring in our special guest, but that was perfect to end that on. So thank you everyone for your questions. At this time, we are going to bring to the stage the Senior Brand Manager from Ambi Skincare, Trisha McKenzie.
Hi, Trisha.
How are you? Thank you, panelists. Thank you, Africa. I mean, what more can I drop? The gems were overflowing. But what I heard a lot of keywords. You all talked about the journey, sharing, tips, not just from your mom, but also you sharing, Kela, with your, mom, how to, get through, whether it's beauty tips, wellness tips. And that's lovely. And what really drove the brand to, host this Skin Wisdom series was because every time we encounter someone, they talk about a story where they saw Ambi or their skincare or some type of gem that either an auntie or a mom or an older sister dropped. So we thank you for sharing your individual stories. I know that our audience enjoyed it as well. But I also want to just leave these couple of words. Ambi has been in the lives of many generations. And we knew from the beginning, over 55 years ago, that we wanted to come out with a line of products that are made especially for you, especially for melanin-rich skin. And thank you for the saying the tip about sunblock every day, because that's what we share with everyone. But I just want everyone to know that we have a full line of products, from cleansers to a toner to the treatment products. So if you are having hyperpigmentation issues, we just launched a new line of our Fade Dark Spot collection. You can go to our website information. It is available at any local retailer that you could think of. And we'll list them out later. But we have 3 new fade creams for morning, And for night care, we also have a vitamin C serum, which is like the dynamic duo with your fade cream. And of course, finishing off with your moisturizer with SPF 30. You got to protect the skin that you love. And I'm just going to leave it at there. But thank you so much, everyone, for participating. We really appreciate you sharing all of those gems.
Thank you. Thank you, Trisha.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having us.
And for bringing us together today. Thank you to everyone who stayed and your questions and your great energy in the chat. Before we leave, Kela, Christina, and Angelique, I would love for you to just tell everybody very quickly what's, if there's any project that they can support and where we can stay connected with you past this. And we'll start with you, Kela.
Yeah, continue to follow me on Kela Walker across the board on social media. New exciting things happening in 2024. So I'm just looking forward to wrapping up the year and hitting up the new year.
All righty. And Christina?
You guys can follow me on all social media platforms at Miss Basketball 1. I am teaching again. I don't know how I got sucked into this again. At Morris Brown next year, next semester. So I'm looking forward to that. And then when I have some more exciting things, I'll be back at Super Bowl this year.
Oh, great. That's great.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Congratulations.
I can't wait. And I'm just really excited and optimistic for what God is doing in 2024. It's going to be one of the best years of our entire lives. So I'm really excited, and I look forward to connecting with as many people as I can. So
I love this energy, Christina.
I know, yes.
Yes, you can follow me on all platforms at Angelique Miles, except for on TikTok. I couldn't get my name, so it's Angelique Miles 8. But I'm not on there a lot anyway. But on Instagram, Angelique Miles. And yes, big things are coming in 2024. I love doing social media campaigns, but I'm expanding beyond that, and I can't wait to show everyone.
Oh, come on.
Sounds like the word for 2024 might be expansion. I love it.
Absolutely.
My name is Africa Miranda. You can find me on all platforms at Africa Miranda. I want to thank Ambi, thank Dion Williams of DWPR for bringing us all together. We are going to continue today to be our authentic selves, to build connection and community. Remember that, we are what we have. The sisterhood, the community of Black women is unmatched. Mm-hmm. It is the most special thing I think that we all possess. And I'm just very thankful for this time that we've all been able to be here today. And, for everybody in the comments in Chicago and Houston and New York and Brooklyn and Atlanta.
Yay.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Ambi Skincare, skin wisdom, it is more than skin deep. And we will see you guys next time.
Thanks, Africa. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you, Africa.